Now listen, big man, hood educated. I'm going around. I'm doing my rounds, and I feel like if you're a true blogger, or if you're a true content creator, or if you're a true human being, or a black guy, or whatever you want to call yourself, you know, I honestly and truthfully, because I didn't reach out to you before the first time I didn't reached out to you. Okay, honestly and truthfully, if you're classic enough to understand, I reached out to you on a page, right? On a page that hasn't been viral, but being that I come from a famous family and I've been in contact with famous people, you can even check my IG, my Instagram, which is Clipper the Clipper. It's spelt how it sounds. Um, I didn't reach out to you. I seen you around a relative of mine before, you know. And nowadays it's hard to accept people. I understand that. But fresh from a pandemic where there was loitering, killing, stealing, and all types of hideous stuff going on besides a hideous disease, besides that, uh, a lot of bad stuff had happened, you know, during those 2.5 years, So now that we're back on regular time and we're trying to go forward with stuff, what has changed? Nothing, just we haven't been getting PUA money. So now that why this is why I use, the pause situation. I'll use a pause button right here to explain that I reached out to you on the page, you know, involving a celebrity. It's not spam. You could take a couple of minutes to check out my etiquettes to see if I'm like propaganda is spam or not, or if I'm just a young Native American that's from this land or whatever. You can understand that, reach out, reach back, maybe, insinuate something on your video, being that a quote unquote viewer watched the video, made a reply, and added it to you. So you can take that situation, right, and you can make it perspective one. We're going to look at perspective two. And for clarity, I'm a 37-year-old or classic person, whatever you want to call or not be offended by. I'm book smart, not too much street smart. Because I fight a lot, because, street, a lot of street people don't fight. They just in the streets. So, perspective two, we give a lot of propaganda, such as the Hassan Campbell situation and how this powerful person, Poppy Spanish Hassan Campbell, with a Shahada from Sunni Islam, who has a transgender son, so he has a community behind his back. Besides having the Spanish in the Islamic sects behind his back, he has autistic children and he has another community behind his back, and he's in I think a racially divided marriage. His wife is Caribbean, so that's another type of beneficial community that we have in this anti-crisis favor. Who showed in the Vlad TV interview that he was groomed uh, to have and to accept molestation, but to perform a magic trick because it's okay. And this magic trick is to take over somebody's mental illness, which is chicken's disease. And chicken's disease happens to plague Africa Bambaataa. So as it plagues Africa Bambaataa, and we have this story about this man that has supposedly went through this situation with this well-known worldwide hip-hop mogul such as Africa Bambaataa, right? We have a situation at hand that a lot of people just overlook, just as if you overlooked my page. So I'm going to tag a couple people in this, because my family members, we get dragged and we get targeted, and then, you have the white officer killing Davon, who didn't have a gun, but the little black darker kid had the gun and lived, who is a football celebrity. We have these situations occurring that's still occurring, you know, and behavior is out of this world. Okay? So now that everybody, and I have everybody's attention because I was around at this time, which you know about Mexicans coming to your city that's not from your city, that has to be from Bronx River, informing us that Africa Bambaataa has chicken's disease, America. But guess what, America? We're not the only ones that knew that he has chicken's disease. Other countries and other nations knew that Africa Bambaataa has chicken's disease. So for this horrible, hideous human being named Hassan Campbell, right, to come out with this story and then said it was happening to him before he even met Africa Bambaataa. It shows from a degreed scholar such as myself, in which you have to, you know, bury your debt, yourself in the debt, to obtain this type of information that, you know, I often help people with. And, you know, you have to have a degree to talk about it. Otherwise, you can get in trouble, or you can launch an investigation, such as YouTube is going to be investigated pretty soon because it was rightfully ours, the college kids, okay, back in the early 2000s. So now I just painted two perspectives for you. So I'm going to take the second perspective and show America that we're all in trouble. So now that the whole world has said something hideous about this man, Africa Bambaataa, who suffered from chicken's disease, who is Muslim, right? Who was getting extorted by the Zulu Nation, who was flagging white bandanas back in the day, a long time ago. They adopted the Bloods like after that, but at first it was a white bandana. Africa Bambaataa was actually being, you know, he's being extorted, and he had this mental disease. And for the Zulu Nation that was supposedly, I don't know the people's name or nothing like that, that was supposedly extorting Africa Bambaataa, they was powerful people, they were killers or whatever, and they would take kids that they trusted, and they would show that Africa Bambaataa had chicken's disease. So, I say that to say my situation with Max Kellerman was happening during the time in different cities. So now that I keep getting overlooked and new information keeps coming to me, you should go to my IG page and see who my only friend that I accept to let follow me is. You know, just look at it on Instagram. My Instagram is Clipper to Clipper, CLIPHER, the number 2, CLIPPER, CLIPHER, the number 2, CLIPPER, right? Clipper to Clipper, and see who my only friend is. So now that that's out the way, and Africa Bambaataa has been already terrorized his whole life, you made the worst terrorist, who was Hassan Campbell, a $500,000 within the last 7 years. So within the last 7 years, he has net worth. Net worth was about $500,000 and running and still going, right? Yet and still, the American economy struggles. The jobs is slacking. Biden is falling out. Kamala Harris still isn't president yet. And it's a whole bunch of stories. It's a whole bunch of it falls under the grounds of No Child Left Behind. So Hassan Campbell still has an open case towards Africa Bambaataa through the uncommon hidden law, which is No Child Left Behind. And these lawyers and these firms, they come back with these openings to talk about childhood abuse, molestation, assaults. If it's still happening to this day, can you prove it? Things of that nature. So it falls under the grounds of No Child Left Behind. So what's happening is me personally, I'm state property, right? And with this, I'm sorry, I'm federal property. And what the state does, the state always sanctions and they censor me, okay? And this is not fair. So it's like you're subconscious in something right in front of me as if you're playing somebody's religion in front of them. Meaning the religion of Hinduism. So if you're playing somebody's religion in front of them, when you just said church is separated from state, and then you penalize me after lying on me, it becomes federal if I do something over and out the ordinary, such as homicide, unalive somebody, or, the blue collar, white collar crimes. So why and how did America get in such a default in the economy and the job market? It's easy. It's cyber crimes, such as your big time YouTubers. So what's happening? What's happening is the debt is growing, right? This is all under perspective too. I have to explain it to you. The debt is growing and the other countries are getting more mad at the insults that are coming from America. What are the insults? These big time YouTubers with these disgusting ways, such as nasty talking towards religion, such as, the unnecessary violence, the abuse to women, right? The Malika Andrews situation and stuff like that. And then there's other women, not as big as Malika Andrews, that go through way worse abuse at a different level, and it's more quiet and humble, and the women is more abused and nobody sees it, and it turns the women crazy. So this is all under perspective too. Other countries are telling us you're supposed to control your women a certain way, America, because it's for the safety for everybody. If a woman feels scared, everybody's in danger. That's just what it is, right? Then they tell you another thing, America, be sensitive on people's religion, because people aren't strapping a bomb on their chest and going to die for Jesus Christ, but they're doing it for Islam, right? And then you have another warning that's thrown to America. Like, listen, we don't need your dollar bill. We don't even need to talk to you. You actually owe us because we own the electricity on your land, because you guys are not the Native Americans. We did a census check. You see? That's just that easy. So all the new jails that they're building, and I say this with a smile, is for all these cyber thieves or whatever. And I don't know if YouTube is one of them. But all I know is that I have a story, right? And I just constantly get ignored. But you constantly talk about my family, my bloodline, the people that I was breathing in the face of and eating with, right? You're constantly talking about us. And you act like I'm clout chasing with my situation, but I'm not. You need to leave my family alone. Because like I said, Mr. Hood Educated, honestly and truthfully, we wear gray, we rep the 6 on the left. All the content that you make, I don't know if you have children or anything like that, but I don't see no love stories. I just see you how to teach smarter criminals just to be smarter, because you went through a classic situation yourself. So now, just how they built those reform jails for these cyber bullies, such as whoever wants to look at my page, take information for me, and perhaps not spin a YouTube RAR or YouTube SMM or YouTube Buzz software that you could purchase for $300 and $400, right? And spin it on a computer that's non-S mode yourself. Say a friend or an archangel or a white positive glimmer of hope, or maybe a brother, as we so quick to say today, right? Say a person that's watching my videos won't take my page and spin it on a monetized page after what I just showed you. I have a monetized page, meaning I can get paid if I'm plugged into the software. Nobody wants to look out. That's my point. That's my point. You all deserve whatever happens to you. You see? You see how you won't take one of my pages, even if you want to take my monetized page, plug it into the software, and let me get the thousands of views that's traffic robots, and I can make zillions and gazillions of dollars. You see how you guys that have that power didn't do it for every page that's plugged up on YouTube? You see how you didn't do it? So you're not 100% networked in. You see how you're gonna lose income on your RPM and your CPM? You see how the ads is non-skippable and skippable? You see that? You see how there's half-hour long ads and there's 5-second ads? Some ads are for 4 hours because of the scam, the pyramid scam. If everybody was plugged in, you guys would be eating. Not only can people just violate because they show that type of behavior that you display shows what type of person you are in the inside. Not only does it give a regular 9-to-5 citizen the right and value to violate your page and just violate and report everything that's on your page so you can get nothing. Not only can us 9-to-5 people do that to you and not care, we can only show you through my whole entire story, the regular 9-to-5 citizen. If I get this software, which I have a RAR, and I do know that there's back drafts to the situation, would I plug people in? Absolutely. I have a RAR. But we already know the RAR is not the superior software. So you, the average person that's on YouTube, can make the next page or the next person, a regular person, your friend, your mother, father, anybody. You can start right now with them softwares. You can start your mother a page and get a $5,000 a month. That just, it shows you. Now, that's what I'm saying. The software represents the person that's using it. Because now you're coming to a person like me. You're coming to my page, not taking my story seriously, stealing my only getaway, my outlet from life is by reporting content because I feel like I'm educated enough to talk about it, right? You're going to steal that by coming to my page and regurgitating something that I learned I paid student loan debt for on your page because your numbers show something different. What you don't realize is you just got yourself in trouble. And now all they not going to do is just pay us PUA. It was like the COVID was 100 years because of this so-called hex of a Spanish or Middle Eastern flu that happens 100 years, which actually is kind of natural. You see how it's like pneumonia because the weather feels different? And then it goes with people and how they breathe and how they live and how they are and how they function. If you live or die or not, just like an animal. You see how that happens? Everything is connected, just like the software. Everything. So now what's going to happen is this 100 years is going to drag on. Because we constantly getting spammed by people like Hassan Campbell and stuff like that. Now, Hood Educated, I haven't seen anything where you dedicate anything to your kids, or if you're sports or well-rounded. Y'all see I have numerous pages. Y'all see I have numerous videos. Y'all see them very well-rounded. Okay? So I'm just saying, to not make a video in reply is one thing, but you have the right to spin your daughter right now can make a page. And I'm talking to all the parents right now that has this software, right, that is not supposed to be in America. Okay? Yeah, I got your attention, right? That's why it was only supposed to be given to us. Y'all got our software. I look like I'm mad talking about it, right? Because I am mad talking about it. Because I am mad y'all got our software. And I'm going to do whatever it takes, being that I'm federal property, to make sure that you pay for that software the proper way. So just how everything is sanctioned, and you can make your daughter right now a page and just start spinning her page in the software, making her $5,000 or whatever, and you're just not doing it, we're just going to take it from you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm in a different part of life. I know y'all see the damage and the damage control that has been happening lately. Okay? Yeah, it's a wrap. So I don't know if big man hood educated, if you one of those big guys that get mad and upset about stuff and you probably sit down and you vent to yourself. I sit down and I vent to myself or whatever, but sometimes, when you get underestimated, you gotta fight,